Hello Stampers, this is Sheila with Stamping Wishes and welcome to my studio. Today we're going to be making this thank you card. It's my July thank you card and it's not a pull-out, it's just a decorative piece up there to say thank you. And then inside it's just a little note to say hello, thoughtful, kind, generous, that's you, as my thank you cards for my customers. So on this particular card I had used the Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana and Whisper White, and I thought we'd change up the colors. Oh, and also the basic gray, but I thought we'd change up the colors today and use some of our new color, that the peacock. Okay, so let me move things over here and we'll talk about the measurements. Now this is for the little tag that we're going to be using. Let's see where my tag went to. Here it is. Our new delightful tag topper. We're going to be using that for this piece up here, and this piece measures 1 7/8 by 2.5, and it is in Very Vanilla. And then we have our inside layer, which is 4 by 5 1/4 for our inside greeting. And then for the layers that goes, we'll start with this layer down here, and I'll have all these measurements on my blog. But the Very Vanilla is 5 1/2 by 3 1/4. The peacock is 3 5/8 by 3 3/8. And then we have 2.5. This is the pool party. We have it in at 2.5 by 4 1/4. And then the peacock is at 2 5/8 by 4 3/8. And then of course we have the pool party again, and this one is at 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have our base card, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and we'll score that at 4 1/4 and start making our card. It's fairly fast, just a little bit of coloring with it, kind of a fun card. So let's come in here and score at 4 1/4. Set this aside. Okay, let's go ahead and put our next layer on, since we don't need to do anything with it, and go ahead and get it on there. So for y'all that are following us, Thursday is our glitter blog hop again for July, and the theme of it's going to be anything red, white, and blue. So be sure and stop in and check out everybody's blogs. I think there's going to be some really, really cute projects with that theme that we're going with for July. So don't forget that. Okay, so let's then take our next layer, which is this layer here, and we will go in here and apply it on. Set that off to the side. We'll get all of our base pieces kind of put together, and then we'll do the stamping and the coloring. So that piece was going to go right about there, so we'll lay that there for right now until we're ready to put it together. Okay, and so I want to go ahead and stamp this piece before we place it on to our base there. And so what I'm going to do is come in here and take this one off, and we'll bring, where is it? Here we go. Let's go ahead and bring this there, and let's see, it should be going this direction. I had the longer of the two measurements going that direction for this particular piece. And let's go ahead and lay this out, and I do believe that we'll go ahead, I kind of like that direction. We'll go ahead and use the basic gray again. I kind of like that basic gray, which is not quite so harsh as the black. When I'm using some of the blue colors, I like how the gray looks with it. So that's what we're going to use, and let's see if I've got you hopefully in frame here. It's so hard sometimes. I'm getting ready to revamp my studio a little bit and get me a little bit wider area for my filming and card making. This one's a little bit on the narrow side, which has worked fairly well, but sometimes when I'm doing this, I wish it was just a little bit wider. And also I'm going to be moving my work area over closer to my windows, and that way I'll get more natural sunlight in there. All right, so I think I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and take and move this off, and we'll clean the stamp in a minute. And since we're stamping, why don't we go ahead and get our inside piece here and line it up. And for those who still have not gotten their stamparatus, it would be the perfect time really to purchase it, because, whoops, I didn't have it high enough. It goes to this one here. With our July 1st starting, as many of y'all know, we started the $5 for coupon for every $50 you spend. So it's a great time to be purchasing some of your larger pieces that you've been wanting to, so that you get a coupon for your extra spending, and you'll be able to collect them all during this month and then spend them next month. Doesn't that come out gorgeous? Yes, I love it. Okay, and let me go ahead and we'll put in this flower. I want to put it in right underneath our saying there to give another kind of floral flair to it. Let's put it about here. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this off, and then we'll color it when we get ready to color the other piece. Why don't we go ahead now and punch our top piece. Let's close this up. Well, we'll be needing it here in a second when we do our thank you. Okay, let's go ahead, and the stamp set that I'm using, I guess that would help to let y'all know what I'm doing. I'm using a little lace. Love this pattern. I have not gotten the framelits yet with it, but that's next on my list. And then I'm also using this saying from the Well Said. This is one of my favorite sets, but it says thoughtful, kind, generous, that's you. So that's what I use from there. And I like the font on this one for the thank you, because it was just the right size for where I need it. So we'll bring that out, because we're going to be using it here shortly. And let's go ahead and see if I can place it on there. Okay. What I may do, it looks like I need to, that's one of the sets that does not, it's a clear mount set, it's not a cling. So let's put us a little piece. I don't know if y'all have seen this before, but I save all of my cling stamp leftovers, and then I can use it on my stamp set. Now, if you don't want to use it on your stamp set, what you can do too is on your block, is just put it on one side of the block, and that way when you're using your cling, you can use the other side of the block where it doesn't have anything, and then when you're using the clear mount, then you can use it. So that's what I'm going to do. I found that sometimes when I put it on the stamp itself, it does work, but you know, occasionally it gets pulled off whenever I remove the stamp. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and put it on the, here, let's put this up here. Let's go ahead and put it on my block, and then that will prevent that hopefully from occurring there. That's still a little crooked there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our small piece. There it is. And we're just going to push it as far as it can go back in there. And this measures 2 inches here, but I come in at 1 7/8 just to give it that nice ease in going in. But you can go in at 2 inches, and actually you can go in a little bit further than that. Okay, and so we want to stamp our thank you. So let's set that up here so we can come in here and stamp our thank you on there. And we need it right about here, and hopefully I'm not sticking my head in this. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and set this aside. Now we'll close our gray and put a little color on this, and we'll finish up assembling, and we are done. Okay, so I decided I'm going to use these colors. I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock, And the dark and light, I've not colored this before in those shades, so we'll see what we come up with. And then I thought the light Mango Melody and the dark might be a pretty accent for the yellow. Again, to kind of remind you, I used my grays in here because of the gray background. So we're going to try those colors and see how it comes out. Okay, so let's go ahead and go with our light center. And, well, better yet, let's start with our dark. I prefer sometimes to come with my dark and go out to my light. So we're going to do some dark here. And let's go ahead. And of course, this is not a color of an actual flower, but that's the fun part of being able to color your own and make your own design is your imagination is what it should be. And so that's what I enjoy. Always rub when you're coloring and you go dark and then you go light, go into that line between the dark and the light so that you get a nice blending line there. Okay. And while we've got the, let's go with the dark here. We'll go on each one of these little accents with the small tip. And then I'll And so now we'll go ahead and layer this on. Here we go. Like I said, this one's a pretty quick and easy, not a lot of coloring, just a little bit. So here we go. Let's go ahead and place that on. That looks good. All right. And that's going to go over here. Let's go ahead and put our inside in real quick. So if, with our new catalog being out, if you're new to Stampin' Up or don't have a demonstrator and you would like a catalog, if you'll go to my blog, stampingwishes.com, and click on the Contact Me, and I will send me the information on where to send you your catalog, and I'll be sure and get it out. Our holiday catalog will be coming out before too long, so we're going to be setting up our mailing list for those to be mailed out. So if you would like one of those too, be glad to send it as well. Just need your contact information, email address, and mailing address, and I'll get that right out to you. Okay, let's put this layer, and we're going to put this one about there. Now this one we'll go ahead and put in. We're going to put it right about here and let's go ahead and put a little piece of ribbon. I got some of the new Magnolia. It came as a duo in that particular suite, so I think we'll use that. I didn't have anything with Pool Party or the Peacock, or I would have used that. And since I used Pool Party instead of, what was the other color? The Macaron Mint. I think that Macaron came in with that set as well. So we'll just go ahead and use this. That way we kind of keep it with a neutral. We'll trim those off in a second. And so I want to pop that up about here. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive. And again, since I'm not going to have it as a pull-out, which if you wanted to, you could definitely leave that where it can be pulled out, but I'm going to be placing it down myself, not as a pull-out, just as a decorative, and then I'll have this piece that will come on over into here. Okay, So let's go ahead and put our dimensions on there and wrap this card up. I want to thank you for coming by today. I appreciate you stopping in, and if you like the video and you're on my YouTube channel, be sure and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to both my YouTube and my blog so that you won't miss any future videos and projects that I'll be having come out. Alright, so let's see if I think I like it like this. We'll bring that in. And I want to leave a little bit of a border there. That looks good. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and just trim those off. We just need a little thing just for decoration there. So here's our card, and here's our first one with the two different colors on it. Don't you just love them? Real easy. And again, this is the inside. Okay. So anyway, again, thank you for stopping in, and have a blessed day.